The fantasy of Santa Claus is proof that parents are psychotic, but mine were truth lovers who spared me this temporary insanity. So why did they let me believe in America? My childhood was a Star-Spangled Christmas Carol, the 80s, Rocky, Reaganomics, Jam Master, James Brown, Cosby, Michael, Pepsi, Prince, Springsteen, the Wheaties Box, Tyson, Last Dragon, breaking the goddamn Summer Olympics, and a black boy with a Gumby haircut, hand over his heart, pledging allegiance and meaning that shit. It is amazing what belief can do to the mind of a child. I was the best artist at Bromwell Elementary. Could draw an eagle so realistic you could cut out the feathers and stick one on Chief Red Cloud's headdress. So there should have been red flags raised when on self-portrait day I drew myself perfectly Caucasian. Gee, I wonder where black kids learn to hate themselves. Don't believe the self-hate slavery hype. I'm not interested in effects, but causes. You see, when you mix in this great country and its anthems to freedom, purple mountains of opportunity, just courts, dignified policing, and living wage, and my people don't know what the hell you talking about? Because you superimpose these beautiful words over a Medusa-faced life experience, because those of us who think we tasted the pie only did so by sneaking in with enough green to mask the black of our bloodline. You begin to realize that these beautiful anthems was not written for you. Because when your skin is the only barrier from life, liberty, and justice, some of us no longer want to wear it. Stacey Dash, this is not a political poem. It's an unrequited love story. So America, I would love your ass if you ever existed, but you can force Santa Claus's name on the Bill of Rights. That shit don't make him a founding father, but we are a bunch of kids caroling under the flag like a Christmas tree, hoping America gonna come down the chimney with a bag of freedom. And that's the only time we treat each other kindly, while in denial, acting as if, well, they couldn't build monuments to it if it weren't real, but I see statues of Mickey Mouse all the time. He has a constitution, ways in which he would govern himself if he existed in the real world. You see, America is really an amusement park called Land of the Free. Problem is, you gotta pay to get in. That's not the tragedy. Name me one person willing to kill a Muslim for Donald Duck. To starve Mexican folks when we burn down their vendors outside, but strap yourselves into the Middle Passage water park ride. Cotton candy's free, just pick it from the Willy Wonka plantation. The founding fathers would have thought Obama's business suit was a mighty hot outfit for him to pick their cotton in, then beat him till he stopped calling himself Barack. But anybody who thinks that slavery only scarred black people generationally has never really looked into Sandy Hook, or Columbine, Jim Jones, Jeffrey Dahmer, Las Vegas. Do you think that you could massacre a bunch of Powhatan Indians, go home and touch your wife the same? To teach your son to check his misguided aggression, to tell him why all of his bedtime stories have traces of indigenous blood on them, like all murders have trace elements of suicide. White America, erasing your history just make you repeat it more efficiently. And the sins of your fathers have homing beacons centuries long. They explode like genetic addictions, because now somehow you just can't stop cracking that whip, because bondage is the basis for successful business models. And you have never heard of slave masters running away from their cotton fields or their corporations. See, you hooked more hopelessly than the slaves are. But when your power is so great nobody can tell your ass the truth, then your karma need not come from anybody but you. See, Malcolm X didn't take down Enron. Chief Sitting Bull didn't chair Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Bobby Seale didn't cause his economic collapse. Cesar Chavez did not fund, train, and recruit for ISIS. It was you, America. Slave nation, now slave to international bankers. Federal Reserve Act of 1913, you sniped your conscience on the balcony of the Lorraine Motel in '68 back in Memphis, Tennessee. I have a dream. You cannot stand for freedom with a wounded knee. When the Constitution is the NSA's favorite brand of toilet paper. When your best weapons are named for the tribes you have slaughtered. Black Hawk, Comanche, Tomahawk, Apache. When Lincoln's voice cannot be heard over the Canton Symphony. When George Washington's heroism is about as real as Wolverine's. It means that you've fallen so far short of your Christian ideals, your ass had to invent another savior for the holidays. The fantasy of Santa Claus is proof that parents are psychotic. And maybe I'm still that patriot, but the rocket's red glare done burned the wool from my eyes. I see you for what you never became. America, you ain't nothing but a star-spangled abortion. Because we the people ain't never been a nation. Just a bunch of children who was born here trying to make it. But these well-meaning principles done cost too many lives to act like they done been lived up to, but the band plays on. The anthem's blaring, hands still over our heart, beating red, white, and broken. Thank you, y'all.